The judge was already giving me a dirty look when I pulled in my 8th fish in less than 15 minutes. The other guys around me, all with their rods still, changing bait, complaining about the spot. There I was, in the same basin of muddy water, with the same bait, the same hook. And with each cast, the rod tip was working again. When the 33rd fish came out, one of the organizers came towards me with that awkward little smile of someone who's already decided the outcome. And the funniest thing, what changed wasn't the brand of bait, nor the latest model rod. It was a simple folder, made with bathroom and kitchen stuff that anyone can buy with spare change. If this is your first time here, subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any secrets the industry tries to hide. This tournament took place in a pay-to-fish pond near São José do Rio Preto, a hot inland area with somewhat green water and tilapia that were tricky competition fish. The rule was simple. 2 hours of competition, whoever caught the most fish took the trophy. At first, I just watched. There were guys with imported bait, Japanese feed costing $80 a kilo, and little containers of $30 bait dripping with every cast. Next to me, a man in a faded cap, one of those riverside dwellers you know catch more than they talk, was using an old mayonnaise jar with a mixture that smelled strong but was familiar. The result of the first half hour? He caught 12 fish. The sponsored fisherman caught 2. I, who was testing this paste I'd pulled from a memento of my grandfather, caught 18 fish. The difference was striking. Every time the bait hit the water, the whole kiosk heard the alarm of my reel. The tilapia came to the line as if someone had rung a bell underwater. My grandfather used to say, back in San Francisco, that fish respect smells more than store advertisements. He used grated bar soap with garlic and a little bit of oil kept in a dark bottle. My father adapted it for pay-to-fish ponds, replacing the rancid oil with something easier to find on the market. I just put the pieces together and brought this trick to the era of tournaments, where everyone chases after technology and forgets the wisdom of the ancients. We are living in the craziest era of fishing. There has never been so much technology, so much information thrown onto the internet. And yet, a lot of fishermen continue to return home with few catches, frustrated without understanding why some guys always fill their live wells while they just take pictures of the river. What if the very strategies that even the most experienced anglers don't share publicly are what's missing from your fishing trips? Those invisible adjustments to water reading, spot selection, bait type, and decision-making that don't appear in YouTube videos but completely change the outcome in practice. That's why the ebook High Level Fishing was created. A practical, straightforward guide where you discover the pillars that truly make a difference in fishing and learn to apply, step by step, the same strategies that the most successful anglers use in the water. This isn't just another superficial resource repeating obvious tips. Here you'll truly understand how to think like a high-level fisherman, how to read the environment, choose your spots better, adjust your techniques, and prepare intelligently for each outing, greatly increasing your chances of catching more fish in less time. Download now using the link pinned in the first comment. Please note, this special offer from $90 to just $14.92 is available for a limited time only and may be discontinued at any time. And what was this forbidden paste that knocked me out of the tournament after catching 43 fish in 90 minutes? A mixture of unscented neutral soap, well-mashed garlic, and a drizzle of cooking oil, transformed into a thick cream that sticks to the bait and releases a non-stop smell. It seems crazy to use bathroom stuff for fishing, but that's just cheap perfume compared to what science shows about the sense of smell of fish, confirmed both in a fishing pond in the interior of São Paulo and in a reservoir right here in the state. Fish can see and feel vibrations, but their noses are a different story. The head of a tilapia or catfish has cavities full of receptors that can identify minute traces of compounds in the water, mainly amino acids that leak from damaged scales, blood, and food scraps. Researchers have measured olfactory neurons in freshwater species reacting to such low concentrations of amino acids that we wouldn't even smell them. For the fish, it's the announcement of food arriving. It's like putting a lit barbecue 2 blocks from your house. You don't see anything, but the smell finds you, and your body responds before your head. When we mix garlic, fat, and a little neutral soap, we create a chemical trail full of soluble molecules that spread quickly, cross the murky water, and hit these receptors directly. This scent trail activates a simple instinct. Follow the trail to the source, bite, and test if it's edible. Some studies with catfish and carp show specific neurons for certain types of amino acids, as if they were channels dedicated to food clues. The product works precisely through these channels, offering a smell of bruised fish in cheap supermarket packaging. Now, what interests you? How to make this bathroom paste without spending more than a few bucks. Ingredients: 1 heaping tablespoon of grated neutral bar soap, the unscented white kind, 3 large cloves of garlic, well crushed until almost a paste, 2 tablespoons of wheat flour, 1 level teaspoon of table salt, 3 tablespoons of soybean or sunflower oil, 50 milliliters of warm water. For less than $8, you can buy everything and still have enough material left over for several fishing trips. Step 1. Grate the soap into a plastic container with a lid, like a repurposed ice cream tub. The finer the grate, the better it dissolves, and the fewer hard lumps remain in the mixture. Step 2. Add the crushed garlic, salt, and wheat flour. Mix with a spoon until it becomes a moist, crumbly mixture. The flour helps to thicken the mixture and retain the scent on the hook. Step 3. Add half of the oil and stir, then gradually add the warm water, stirring constantly until a thick paste forms, like a very dense toothpaste. Finally, add the rest of the oil and stir slowly to create a greasy layer that helps the paste release its scent gradually in the water. The secret is this: don't let the paste become too runny. If it drips from the spoon, add more flour and a little more grated soap. The right consistency is when you can form a ball with your fingers without it sticking to your hand. To preserve it, store the tightly closed container in the refrigerator for up to 10 days, always noting the date on the lid. If you want to preserve it for longer, separate it into small portions in bags and freeze it. Take it out of the freezer the day before fishing and leave it in the refrigerator to thaw slowly. This keeps the strong smell longer and prevents the garlic from becoming too sour. If you want to boost it, you can add half a teaspoon of dry yeast, the kind used for bread, which helps create small bubbles and an extra trail of compounds that resemble decomposing food. A tablespoon of fine cornmeal, which releases a yellowish cloud in the water and is visually appealing, especially for tilapia and carp in pay-to-fish ponds. The question that always comes up is, if it works so well, why don't stores sell something like this ready-made? Simple. Bar soap, garlic, and regular oil cost pennies. A big brand can't put a price tag of $40 on a small jar of something you can make at home for $5 without anyone finding it strange. They prefer to sell bottles with synthetic scents, full of difficult names, colorful, with pretty labels saying it's laboratory technology. Dewey, you pay for the packaging and the advertising, while the riverside dweller in the Pantanal makes something similar with kitchen scraps, stores it in a jar, and catches more fish than half a lake of a fisherman with expensive gear. On the day of the tournament, I used this paste in a very controlled way. A level teaspoon mixed into each pellet of feed dough, just enough to make the bait smell nice, without turning it into a mess. Application. I always covered the entire hook, leaving just a small tip sticking out for a good hook set. The best time was between 8 AM and 9:30 AM, when the water had already warmed up a bit and the fish were more active. But the movement hadn't yet scared the school. Tilapia and carp responded more strongly, but even small tambaki came close, curious about the different smell. A common mistake is to overfill the bait with paste, forming a hard block that doesn't release its smell properly and even makes the fish suspicious. Another mistake, reapplying it unnecessarily after each cast. Ideally, you should renew the paste every 2 or 3 casts, or when you feel that the dough has been in the water for too long without any action. When the organizers realized that, on the same line of fishermen, I was catching 43 fish in 90 minutes, the whispers started. They came to look at my gear, searched my container, and asked if it was a prohibited product. And that's where the detail that bothers many people comes in. When something simple, homemade, and cheap works better than the expensive little jar on the counter, it bothers those who sell illusions. Click now, secure your access to high-level fishing, and let these strategies start transforming your next fishing trips. The link is in the first pinned comment. When you return from the water applying what you've learned, come back here and comment, "I caught more." That will be your commitment to your evolution in fishing. And perhaps it's exactly the step that separates the stories you hear from the stories you'll start telling. Imagine your next fishing trip. While others spend $35 on a small bottle of off-the-shelf synthetic bait, you use this paste made with neutral soap, garlic, and oil that cost no more than $8. In just a few casts, the rod tip starts to tremble. The line sings. The fish tank fills up while the rest of the group is still debating which brand is the best. Your friends will ask for the secret. You decide whether to tell them. Traditional knowledge only dies when we stop using it. While the market pushes expensive novelties, there are many riverside tricks, grandfatherly riverside secrets, waiting to be put back in your hands. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss the next video.